Hello, my name is Tracy Jones Grant, and I grew up and worked for many years in the Halifax North Branch Library under the leadership of Miss Adelia Mooney. Miss Mooney was what many would call our community mom. I started working at the library when I was 16 years of age, and her influence helped to direct the direction that my career took as I went along in my life. Miss Mooney had many, many library children, young folks that she would hire or who would come into the branch, that she would take the time to get to know, to understand what their needs are. Not only would she hand us a good book to read, but she would guide us and mentor us and care for us. Many of us saw her as our second mother. When I first started working at the library as a young person, I was bound and determined that throughout my career I was going to go on and I was going to become a doctor. As I was doing my undergraduate degree, I didn't realize that she and Terry Simons were watching my career, and one day they both sat me down and said, "I think you should go to library school." I'd never thought of that as a career, hadn't even crossed my mind, although by this time I had been working for about 3 years at the library. I took a chance. Miss Mooney guided me, introduced me to the right people, helped me fill out my applications, and throughout my entire time at library school, constantly made sure I was checking in, and as she would say, not working too many hours at the branch so that I could focus on my education. But I was not the only one. There were many of us that she did the same thing for, no matter what career people chose. She'd check in. She'd celebrate our birthdays. She'd celebrate our accomplishments. She always was walking around and checking on the people in the community. Miss Mooney was an amazing and phenomenal woman. Her heart was bigger than anybody. She really, truly cared that all of her kids were successful. Although I'm the one celebrating with you today and speaking today on Miss Mooney, there are a group of us that have been together that we've always considered ourselves her babies. So I would say that this message is on behalf of myself, Marcel Provost, Charles Hart, Tina Robertson, Cindy Smith, and Craig Smith. The 6 of us have constantly stayed together to spend time with Miss Mooney, to continue to share with her stories of her successes, because all of our successes were her successes. So I am so pleased to hear that the library is creating an award and renaming an award in honor of Miss Adelia Mooney. If ever there was a community mom, she was it. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Amanda Fullerton, the Manager of Service Design with Halifax Public Libraries. I was happy to nominate the Ask the Library phone line leadership team for the Ms. Amiuni Award of Staff Innovation and Impact. The team was very quick to respond to the closure of our branches due to the COVID-19 pandemic and put into place a centralized phone line for public inquiries that was staffed remotely. Community members had many questions about the library closure and which services and resources remained available. The team worked quickly to find a technical solution and figure out a staffing schedule to answer these questions and any others that might come in, meeting a great need in our community. Folks feeling isolated were also invited to call and chat with a friendly staff person. The service was up and running just 2 weeks after the library closed. It can be difficult to pull something together that quickly, and this team should be commended for their great work and creative solution. Thanks for all you do.
Hello? Our phone line won an award? Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Thank you so much to the library board for the great honor of winning the Miss Amy Uni Award. I'd really like also to thank the senior management team, especially my manager Maureen Collier, for giving me the opportunity to lead this team, and to Amanda Fullerton for nominating us. Thank you so much. I also want to give a shout out to all the people and departments who helped us. So Tracy Stone, Kevin Crick, Melissa Scanlon and the IT team, marketing and communications, and really anybody who offered to share their ideas while we were trying to figure this service out. And most importantly, I'd like to thank our amazing staff who worked on this service and who are working on it still. They were so patient and they helped to build the phone line into a way that our community could still keep in touch with us and feel connected to us even when we had to be physically distant.
My name is Tracy Stone and I'm a member of the library's administration team. The library strives to serve its customers and its community, and for me, my customers are the library's departments and branches. Part of my job is to help them have the tools and information they need to do the countless things they do every day. Administrative work is usually done behind the scenes and in the background, and that's my preferred place to be. My reward is seeing the work that I do help my colleagues put more energy towards the work they do and succeed. And it was my pleasure to be able to help the Ask a Library phone team. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Susan James from the Central Library. I'd like to thank Amanda Fullerton for nominating our team for this award and the board for recognizing our work. I always feel our work is valued, and this is a lovely affirmation of that. I'm so grateful to have been a part of this amazing team that really demonstrated what this organization does best, responding and adapting to the changing needs of our community.
I'm Yulia Hodes, a librarian from Halifax Central Library and a member of the Ask the Library phone line team. It was an amazing teamwork. Everyone worked very hard to complete this project in such short period of time, and it was worth it. When talking on the phone with the customers during library closure, it felt so good to help people again. It felt so good to have human interaction, and it also felt so good that library stepped in and was there for people.
My name is Alison Creech, and I'd like to say it's a real honor to be part of the team that won this award. This was a team that came together in a real hurry in a response to something that was just completely out of the ordinary for us, and I think it was hugely successful. The real people who deserve this award, though, for me, the high point was watching the staff that volunteered to answer the phone lines, contacting our patrons, and just coming together and getting to know each other, even though they were working remotely. That was probably the best part of this whole thing, and they deserve this award as much as this team does.
Hi, I'm Danielle Dungy, and I'm the Assistant Manager for the Halifax Central Library. I'm thrilled to be here virtually to be accepting this award and to be honoring Miss Mooney, who had a long-lasting impact on the library and on the community at large. And I'm really proud to say that within 2 weeks of us closing, the Ask the Library line launched to help people virtually connect with information and to connect with friendly library staff who are working from home. And I couldn't have done it without my wonderful team, so I'd like to extend a big thanks to them. And I would also like to thank my colleagues and the library board for this award. Thank you.
My name is Dacia McDonald, and I'm the Adult Services Librarian at Keshen Goodman Public Library. I nominated Rania El Nagar for the Miss Amayuni Staff Innovation and Impact Award. Our newcomer community, and in fact the entire community, is well served with Rania's compassionate listening, commitment, and focus on positive outcomes. When library programming and conversation groups moved online as a result of the recent health crisis, Rania approached this new reality practically and positively. She drew upon her own learning and professional development, specifically recent participation in community engagement training, and took initiative to forge new ways to connect participants to resources, even when meeting in person was not possible. For this and many other reasons, Rania's initiative contributes significantly to the benefit of our communities. I want to thank Rania for her fantastic work and congratulate her for receiving this well-deserved award. Congratulations, Rania.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rania Al-Nagar, and I work as a Library Assistant 6 for the Keshen Goodman Library's Newcomer Services. I am pleased, honored, and proud to receive this award. I want to thank my manager, Helen Texton, who believed in me and give me the chance to prove myself. My supervisor, Daisy McDonald, who always considers my feedback and encourages me. Many thanks for our energetic librarians, Leah Bowman, Chantal Barrett, for supporting my nomination. My colleagues who advise and help me every day. 4 years ago, when I first arrived in Halifax, I set my mind to join HBL. I had done my homework, prepared myself, and HBL welcomed me with open arms. I was able to join this outstanding organization, which opened new doors for me to grow professionally and personally. Thank you for giving me the chance to serve the newcomers community and to connect to the library's local community. I hope to maintain and surpass your expectations in the upcoming years. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nick Manuel. I'm the manager of home delivery. I'm very pleased to announce that this year's winner of the Volunteer Impact Award is Sheila Keane. Sheila has been a volunteer with home delivery for 25 years, and over those years has really touched and really enriched the lives of so many of our patrons, performing selection on materials, building relationships, and really helping create service for those who otherwise would not experience borrowing service. So Sheila is not submitting a video of acceptance for the reward, but did let us know that she is very thrilled and honored to receive the award. So I would just again love to thank Sheila for her years of service, all of the hard work, and yeah, thank you so much.
I'm Julia Hodes from Halifax Central Library. I coordinate small business and career resources and programs at Halifax Public Libraries. I nominated Anne Devine, founder and CEO of Ashanti Leadership and Development Services, for the Community Impact Award. Congratulations, Anne. You won this award. Anne has been a library partner for 6 years. During these years, we brainstormed and planned many powerful small business programs, workshops, and networking events to celebrate women entrepreneurs, to empower Black and immigrant women, and to support their career advancement. After attending Anne's programs, I felt very inspired and motivated to do good things for my family, for my co-workers, for library users, for my neighborhood, for my community. And I'm 100% sure that many people who attended Anne's programs at the library felt the same. Thank you, Anne, for sharing your experience, your knowledge, your expertise with library users, with our community. Thank you for supporting small business community. Anne is well known for community work and for community activities. She is an outspoken advocate for Black and immigrant women, and she deserves this award. Congratulations, Anne, again, and I'm looking forward to working with you on many other programs at Halifax Public Libraries.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anne Devine. I would like to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone who has contributed and thought me worthy of receiving this Community Impact Award from the library today. I would also like to thank all the women in Halifax, those who attended my program, those who worked hard with me for us to deliver the very important conversations that they have often asked me to drive on their behalf. I'd also like to thank Julia Kudas for her part in this. When we started partnering on this journey, we didn't think that it would last as long, but Julia and her staff has always been very supportive of our initiatives. I also want to remember those individuals at Keshen Goodman Library, where I first started when I arrived in 2004. Thank you once again. It is with great honor and pride that I accept this award.
I'm Ken Mulliman, Programming and Community Engagement Manager in the Basin District. Congratulations to the John Howard Society Halifax office on receiving the Halifax Public Library's Library Board 2020 Community Impact Award. Since 2016, when the John Howard Society approached library staff at Halifax Public Library, they've helped the library bridge the gap in providing service to both individuals experiencing incarceration and those recently released back into the community. This relationship has allowed the library to expand services in partnership with the John Howard Society into the Burnside facility. Initially, with funding from the Mental Health Foundation in Nova Scotia, we have established and sustained book clubs, which run year-round and impact about 70 men a year. As a result, library staff have indicated that men recently released are more comfortable entering library spaces, and library staff are more aware of their experiences and barriers they face. Additionally, this partnership has resulted in the delivery of life skill and anger management programs that are offered at branches around Halifax Public Libraries. Once again, congratulations to the John Howard Society Halifax office.
Hi everyone, my name is Adrienne McDonald and I'm the Director of the Halifax Regional Office of the John Howard Society of Nova Scotia. This is our core team and we are so excited to be this year's recipient of the Community Impact Award.
Thank you very much to HPL's board for this recognition and to Ken for our nomination. We'd also like to thank Janice Wyender who helped kickstart this partnership between JHS and HPL.
Our mission is effective, just, and humane responses to the causes and consequences of crime.
The partnership has helped us to extend our supports in HRM by meeting people in their communities.
Our clients often discuss feelings of isolation from their communities, so being invited to the library space to complete their programs means a step towards feeling like a welcomed member of their community.
We're constantly thinking of ways to work with HPL to better support our shared clientele and communities to become safer, healthier, and stronger. Thanks, HPL.
Thank you.